Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the Little Reader's house. I'm the Little Reader, your humble channeler and host. And it's an honor and pleasure to have you in my space. It's coming through loud and clear, sweet soul. It's decision time. It seems like it's always decision time, doesn't it? It's either a decision about this or that, meal, something small and simple, or career, or relationship, or how to move forward, or how to vote if you're here in the US of A. That's where I am. Southern California, sweet, sweet Los Angeles. But don't let that stop you. With an open heart and a settled mind and a nourished and loved body and form, decisions can be as easy as 1, 2, 3. Do, re, mi. I won't sing that whole song for you, although I'm tempted. Instead, I'll just dip into what's flowing through. We've spoken here before in the house about free will and how it doesn't exist. And that remains a standing premise. There's an entire transmission about that, though, that way, in the past. If you click the title and you go scroll through, you can find a video titled Free Will Does Not Exist, and you can take in that little pill. Ooh. But when we say decisions, mostly humanity is referring to an analytical, logical thought process. And as we've touched on here before, we creatures believe that because we're thinking thoughts, we're coming to some awakened conclusion versus a thoughtless, impulsive decision. We believe that a thoughtless, impulsive decision is an unconscious, patterns-based decision, especially when we're judging other people. Like, oh, they didn't even think about that. They just did it. Didn't give it any thought. That comes straight out of their patterns, and that's just going to create more of the same for them. But we have this bias toward analysis. Like, I thought through this long and hard. I made peace with this in my mind. I weighed pros and cons. I made lists. I did all this stuff. Therefore, I've made an educated, intentional decision. But Spirit reveals in the house today that doesn't make the decision any more conscious or any less patterned than an impulsive decision. So Spirit invites us to dispel the bias that thinking about something for a long period of time or with intensity is superior to not thinking about it at all. And that the two, as we've recently discussed here, are not comparable, that things shouldn't be compared. Well, it's not that they should or shouldn't, but comparison creates more time spent in the realm of mind. Now, unless we're looking to spend our entire lives in the realm of mind, a realm that can't experience bliss, it can't experience peace, and it can't experience deeply fulfilling pleasure, nevertheless, we are completely entitled to living our entire human existence through that realm, if that's what we choose. But if we don't want to be there, if we'd like to experience a life through the realm of heart, a realm that can experience ecstasy, peace, inspiration, relaxation and trust at the deepest levels, and all-encompassing fulfillment. If we'd like to experience a life like that, then it's time for us to stop dwelling so much here and start spending some time here. Because decisions made from this place don't feel anything like decisions made from this place. Because they're not. They cannot be compared. They are not the same. And the process is foreign. The two don't, there's no weighing, there's no analysis. There's witnessing and there's inspired movement. So here's what I'm getting. My sweet, sweet friend, you're facing a decision. However your mind is judging it. There will certainly be more stress if your mind has decided it's big, and less stress if your mind has decided it's small. However, the mind puts down that gavel of judgment, psh, 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 that's how the body, the form, will respond physiologically to it. Increased heart rate, sleepless nights, breaking out in a sweat, nausea, the desire to consume nutrition or the desire to stop consuming. It will determine our parasympathetic nervous system state. So we shift away from the mind. We shift away from that realm. It doesn't require our awareness to align with ideal outcomes. All the mind does is allow us to believe that we had some control in changing our fate. But how could a realm that is such a small sliver of this human life experience have so much power? Don't think about it. Instead, we move. We move houses, change neighborhoods. We take our breath as a tool. And we start centering all of that right here, center of the chest. Let's go. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Let's go again. Bring it all right here. And we begin to plug our senses into this space. We begin to listen as if we could hear something from here. We begin to look with our inner perception as if we could see something from here. We begin to feel with the interiority of ourself, as if there's a presence to feel here. And we stay here until the mud settles. Until the sound of our mental chatter is very far away indeed. And we don't make an ask, we're not requesting clarity, we're not insisting on anything, we're not trying to change anything. We are surrendering to our heart space exactly as it is, witnessing exactly what it is, while simultaneously surrendering to our external world exactly as it is. And what that facilitates, my sweetheart, is the dissolution of resistance. All clenching fades away. All tension fades away. All fear fades away. The nervous system response for survival to face the threat fades away. Often much faster and subtler than we expect. And we dip in and feel into this space, allowing the ambient sound of our environment to soothe us, whether that contains the scream of sirens, helicopters, and children, like my ambient neighborhood, an AC humming in the background, a distant television, family members clomping around on the other side of a closed door, or whether it's complete and utter silence, we don't judge it. We just enter this space with humility to address an intelligence that receives no glory until it accomplishes feats that impress the mind. For the record, putting your awareness in the heart and committing to placing it there will always lead you to feats that impress the mind. It cannot be reverse engineered. It is acts of heart that create leaders, that create ripples, that create healing and awakening, that inspire. And we can't fake acts of heart, and we can't think our way into them. We must dwell here. We must know this. We must learn this. And in doing so, we develop an understanding that surpasses mental sense. Trying to describe it might even be like nonsense. So don't. Don't try to rationalize it or describe it or explain it. Just be it. You have to make a decision today. Go here first. You have to make a decision tomorrow or in the very near future. Spend every day leading up to that with a visit to the heart. Yes, I am attempting to trick you into starting a meditation practice. Is it working? Home is where the heart is. But the heart is here. It never leaves you. It's got all the answers. They may not initially arise as thoughts, but eventually, tapping into this space will create ripples that will be interpreted by the mind as steps, and they will effortlessly unfold. That is how we make a decision with the heart. So drop your anxiety, sweet soul. Drop your tension, drop your fear, and drop in to the heart space. And know that ultimately, no matter what you do, you cannot mess this up. In fact, I'm not promising that dropping into the heart will make you make a different decision than living through your mind. I'm not allowed to make that promise, I've been told. But what I am promising, what I am allowed to promise by the great all that is that when you spend time dropping into your heart and you get to know that space, trust that space, honor that space, value that space, love that space, any and all actions you take will be infused with such a love and such a peace that the way you experience the circumstances of your life, whether or not you had an alleged hand in manipulating them, the way you experience them, the way you feel them, will be vastly different and phenomenally miraculous when experienced from this place. That's all. And that's where we're leaving it today, beautiful soul. If you need any resources at all, they're all down below. My Patreon, $1.11. One-on-one coaching, way more expensive, but so very worth it. A bunch of books and breathing exercises, not even by me. Wim Hof is down there, man. It's all there for you. This life is yours for the taking, baby. In a blissful, beautiful way. It's your time. You've been invited. Now know how worthy of love you are. Know it. And act like it. I love you with all my heart.